Today we're talking about the Three Sisters gardening method, which is rooted in the indigenous practices of Native Americans. To get started, we want to acknowledge and express our appreciation to the Lumbee tribe, who were the original stewards of this land where Poe stands.
Today we will be talking about the three sisters, corns, beans, and squash. We'll be explaining how you can plant them as well as eat them together as they have been for centuries.
The Three Sisters planting method is an indigenous polyculture planting method originating with the Haudenosaunee tribe in northeastern United States, also known as the Iroquois. All three plants can grow separately, but they do better growing together, and they actually thrive together. It is very versatile, in which you can plant at home using a patio or backyard or anything like that, or you can plant like us along our fence.
Depending on where the indigenous people were located in the United States would determine what they were able to plant because of the climate. So today we will be planting a winter squash variety, but in our recipe we'll be using a summer squash since that is what's available to us at the moment.
The Three Sisters are planted in a specific sequence. It's corns, beans, and then squash. So we planted our corn about a month ago, and we planted it an adult thumb or 2 inches deep. And a foot apart from each other. We want to make sure that there's full sun, and we want to keep our soil watered, so watering almost daily. And we want to wait until it's 4 to 6 inches tall before we plant our beans. All right, and here's our magic bean. Beans are super important. They are nitrogen fixers. They make our soil healthy. We plant them 1 inch deep, so you can use your thumb, and 1 per hole, and then we're gonna cover it up. And these grow super, super tall, and so they're gonna use the corn as support as they grow tall. They're climbing, and they're also going to use the fence, which is why we chose the fence. If you're gardening in an apartment and you have a patio that has bars on it, you can also use that as support. Hey everyone, it's been 2 weeks. I have my squash transplants here. We have sugar pie pumpkin and Lakota winter squash. You can also plant from seed, either one, whichever your preference. Our bean plants are mature. They're from 4 to 6 inches tall. So let's get planting. First, we're gonna dig a hole, and we're gonna space each squash about 3 feet apart. Next, we're gonna take our transplant. Here we have our sugar pie pumpkin, and we're gonna squeeze and wiggle, and you're gonna see that it comes out. Loosen up those roots. Sometimes gardening isn't exactly pretty, but as long as the food grows. Then we're gonna cover it up with dirt and pat the dirt down. Time and patience are the secret ingredients to the garden. So now we're gonna transition to the kitchen.
I have a Three Sisters dip that is nutritious, simple, and of course gets better with time. So let's go check it out.
Research shows that the Three Sisters agricultural method keeps families well sustained throughout the year.
According to the Oneida Nation, the Three Sisters are also known as the sustainers of life. That's because these 3 ingredients that we're going to use today have really valuable macronutrients such as protein and carbohydrates, which allowed them to have active and healthy lifestyles. For our Three Sisters salad, or dip in this case, we are going to start off with corn. This is a variety that I had that had red and green peppers in it. I've already rinsed and drained these. Corn is going to give us a lot of carbohydrates, which is really awesome for energy, for physical activity, as well as brain power. So we're just going to dump that in to our bowl. Our next sister are beans. This is a no salt added black bean variety, but you can use any beans that you prefer. This is great with protein. Since it's a plant-based protein, it aids in muscle development while still being low in saturated fats. Our final sister is chopped up zucchini. So this is our squash for the recipe. And we chopped it up finely, kind of to match the size of the corn and the beans. And since it has a thinner skin, I just kept that on as well. This is going to be really great for fiber intake. Our whole dish will contain about 13 grams of fiber, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water when you're enjoying this at home. Now that we have our Three Sisters in the bowl together, we're now going to add the other ingredients to make it into a really yummy marinade. This is a jalapeno pepper. So for me, I like to keep the seeds in it just because it adds some spice to it. And you can also leave that off if you're not a fan of the spice. Then I have chopped up cilantro, and you only need about a tablespoon. If you like cilantro, you can add more, or if you don't like cilantro at all, you can swap it out for a different herb. Here at Poe, we are currently growing our herb garden, but I had some help by going to the grocery store and getting this. Then we have our lime juice, and the recipe calls for half of a lime, but I really like the fresh flavor, so I just did a whole lime with it. Last but not least, I have a spice blend. This isn't in the recipe, but I really like the flavors of garlic, so I added about half a teaspoon of garlic, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and also half a teaspoon of salt. It's up to you how you want to season up your dip or your salad, but I would recommend starting off with a quarter teaspoon or a half teaspoon so you don't over season it. And then we'll just dump that in. Next is the fun part. We're going to mix it all together, so this would be a really good time to ask a friend or maybe somebody who is a little bit younger to help out with this recipe. The Three Sisters is representative of community. This is a great dish that you can bring to any gathering, and it's very allergy friendly. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, and can also be considered vegan.
You can serve it alongside tortilla chips, or you can check out our seed planting 101 video for an awesome and delicious recipe on seed crackers.
If you want more information, just check out the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you liked this video. And don't forget to stay POFit.